Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Curtain. I'm your host, Lauren Shippey, and today we are talking about feeling alone in it. And the reason I wrote this series is because I know that so many of the leaders that I've worked with have experienced these exact same thoughts, and I've also experienced them. So I'm not speaking to a journey that I haven't already walked through. And I want to encourage you today, if you are feeling alone in it, that you actually aren't. And I'm going to get to that. But have you ever felt that maybe you were the only one experiencing something or feeling something or in a particular situation or a dynamic? Let me tell you, there are others that have walked the same road. They've been through similar phases and they've encountered situations that mirror yours. And it's a really big world out there. And there are a lot of others who have felt alone in it too. So I just want to remind you of that because I think it's a comfort to know that while you may feel that you're being othered in this season or you're kind of feeling like you're in isolation, you're really being set apart for something. When sometimes there are situations that might trigger your feelings of aloneness, God is moving in those situations and He's working and He's making a way for you, perhaps to realize something, to be able to grow, to move forward, to find a new path, a new way of operating or doing business or doing whatever it is that you're doing. So alone in it might mean that you're regaining your strength, that you're regaining your posture, your precise tone, like the tuning of an instrument. That's the vision I had. It's almost like set aside just for you. So this time is not a detriment to you. It's actually a help to you. And so if you can have that perspective shift, I know at Storywork we talk a lot about just that kaleidoscope shift, just changing your lens just a little bit to see something differently. That if you're feeling alone or isolated or asking yourself why, this might be your opportunity to regain who you really are, because you might have come out of alignment with that through circumstances, through situations, things that you've been through. And so you can actually use this time to pull back a little bit, to rest, to enjoy simple things, to reset your rhythms and choose how you'll continue to show up, because it might be different than how you've shown up in the past. And so being open to that makes room to operate in freedom. And it can bring healing, it can bring new life, it can bring fullness of joy and a deeper connection with who you truly are. Because when we operate out of alignment with that, it's like there's a siphoning off of power. It's just like being drained constantly. Our energy is being drained. We feel excessively tired. That's how it feels when we're operating out of alignment with who we really are. So I would just encourage you today to let all those other voices fade into the background, giving you a chance to hear your voice, maybe for the first time in quite a while. And you might discover that you forgot some parts of you, some that seem maybe lost in a distant life. And what I want to say to you today is bring them back. Bring them back. Because in the moments of feeling alone, remind yourself that this too is going to pass. And one day you're going to look back on this time and wonder why you didn't just embrace it a little bit more. Take the pause, take the rest, take the space that you need as you renew your mind and your heart for the things to come. Because a lot of you I know and leaders that we're working with are stepping into new chapters. They're stepping into completely new things that are outside of their comfort zones, outside of their territory, challenging everything that they know. And so I think that, I spoke to the pause and the space in between. And I think that part of that process of entering into new things, there is a period of isolation or a period where you feel alone in it. And the good things that are ahead for you will need your effort, your energy, and your presence. And so if you kind of feel like you're wandering around and you don't really know what you're doing, that happens. And it's called a wilderness season, and that can feel like a bit of a wandering. But I want to remind you that you're not wandering, you're discovering. You're discovering who you really are, back to your default settings. And you're also discovering the new ways that you're going to be operating in as you step into the new thing, whatever that looks like for you. And you're going to use every bit of everything you've learned here while you feel alone in it. So there's a marking that takes place in this space, and it's quite unlike anything else. It leaves a permanent imprint on you. It's a lasting work that seems to shape your heart in ways that nothing else could. So I want to encourage you to embrace it, to lean in, to listen to what you hear in the silence, because in the silence you find true belonging, which is the opposite of being alone in it, because you find your real self. You remember who you are. It almost like jolts you awake in those particular moments. I want you to think of a time where you were out of alignment with who you were, and then all of a sudden it was like somebody snapped their fingers and you jolted wide awake and you remembered who you really were, and you turned and you began to move. That's like this. That's like where I believe we are right now and what I see a lot of people going through. And so, what's great about this is that you're going to have that moment, or maybe you've already had it. And now that you know, you won't forget it. So think about where it is that you feel alone in it right now. It could be anything. It could be anything from a family dynamic to a work dynamic, to creating and forging a new path. What do you know to be true as you lean in and listen to what you hear in the silence when you're quiet? And it's not just like turning off the news, but it's actually like a soul kind of quiet. Like sit down and be still. What is not true that you've been believing as if it were true? So as part of this process, we really have to filter out the lies, because especially as we create new things, there's going to be a lot of lies that come up, things that are not true. And so we need to make sure that we're taking account and taking stock of our thoughts and expose anything that's not true that we've been believing as if it were true. And so the great part is that you can just recognize it really simply wherever you are, and you get to change it. So you can take a step to change it, and you can pursue the truth. So wherever you've been feeling alone in it, I think you can have that perspective shift of, wait a minute, like maybe there's a purpose to this. What can I see during this time? And what shifts can I make that can propel me forward into the new season that I'm going to step into? And last, I want to end with a declaration, because I've been working through these topics for Behind the Curtain, and each one has brought a declaration. And I think there's something really powerful about using your words and declaring something to yourself, for yourself, over your life, over the people around you. Feel free to share it with people that need to hear it. You can say it out loud if you want, if you're in your car, wherever you are. And it says this: I won't believe the lie that I am alone in it anymore. I'm not isolated, and I'm not going to isolate myself. I realize that this is simply a tactic to keep me from operating in the fullness of who I'm created to be. I'm going to choose to ask for help, take small steps, or simply sit, rest, and listen for the quiet whisper that calms the inner storm. I'm going to start to pursue the truth about the situation rather than the lies that have surrounded it. So I hope this has encouraged you today, inspired you, and built your courage. That's what we aim to do with this. Again, feel free to share with friends. Catch more at storywork.co, and we'll talk to you soon.